of opportunity and catch the good that in our reach is the great art of life. A very warm good evening to the galaxy of intellectuals, invited guests, professors, students, ladies and gentlemen. With immense pride, I, Dr. Rajendra Singh Pardeshi, welcome you all for the valedictory session of the International Conference on Recent Advances in Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, organized by Dr. D.V.V.P.F Foundation's Institute of Business Management and Rural Development, popularly known as IBMRD, Viladghat, Ahmednagar. Today, it's our great privilege to have with us chief guest for the valedictory session of International Conference, Dr. Sujit Bhattacharya, Principal Consultant, Avarian TTP Group, United Kingdom. Joined us online for this event. I request Dr. Sujit Bhattacharya, sir, to kindly start your session, sir. Let us have a huge round of applause for Dr. Sujit Bhattacharya. Over to you, sir, Dr. Sujit Bhattacharya.
Okay. Good afternoon, all of you. It is indeed a great privilege for me to get connected to you all. And thanks to Shobik for coordinating and making this possible. As you know, I'm in UK, based in UK in Cambridge. And this is the morning time, the office time. So I did manage to book a conference room. So my apologies that I'll be there for a very short while with you all. But our interaction can go on later on as well, because I'll put in a lot of information for you to get connected. With due respect to all the important dignitaries there and participants, professors and experts in the field of artificial intelligence, IoT, robotics, these are some of the key topics which are very dear to me. I'll slowly get into some of these aspects. As I understand, we have audience with a wide expertise kind of thing in different areas. Some could be expert in marketing, business, administration, and in terms of technical kind of thing. So what I have gathered from Shobik is that if I don't pitch too technical, it would be good for all of you. That's my intention. And I'll slowly see where we all are. My intention is to have most of you with me, maybe at the end of this presentation. If you have some questions, you can definitely you can definitely ask some questions, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. So basically, the way I have because I did have only 1 or 2 days time with me, so I have in fact put the slides in a bit ad hoc way. There are more than 40 slides, but don't worry about it. I can manage it within 15-20 minutes, because I'll not go in details, and all the slides are numbered. That's what I do, because at any point you feel that if you want to count on the number of slides, if it's too boring, then you can also do that. So I'll just introduce myself, and then I'll talk about some of the science, technology, engineering, mathematics initiatives, why it is important, and why are we doing a lot of activities, and talk about artificial intelligence, robotics, Internet of Things, and if you have any questions and answers. So if you want to know a bit about me, so I'm a space engineer with a chalk is my title, because I have been doing the STEM activities for a very long time. My professional experience is that I work with Indian Space Research Organization. I joined my dream job in 1989 after my graduation from BIT Mesra. And I was a senior R&D and project manager in Indian Space Research in Ahmedabad. In Space Application Center, we were into making the satellites, and I'm very proud that my contributions is still been utilized in a lot of other satellites. I also worked with European Space Agency in UK, working alongside with Imperial College London for the Solar Orbiter satellite, and I put the small photograph of the satellite, which goes very close to the sun. You can have a look at it. It is the ESA's Solar Orbiter satellite, which has a very sensitive magnetometer instrument, and I was one of the leading engineer working alongside with all the professors and other experts building the satellites. I also worked with a radar company, very sensitive radars, which in fact is also deployed along the borderline of UK, of India as well. I was a radar system design authority, and at present I'm working as a principal consultant in a space and defense consultancy firm. So my main background and main work is space, defense, and signal processing, FPGA, and those kind of things. And I'm also founder and CEO of the Cambridge Digital Consultancy, and that's the reason you see CamDecon on the top is my own company where I try to initiate a lot of activities and mentoring for the students. So my education background is that I've done my PhD as a Commonwealth Scholar from University of Edinburgh, Masters from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore in signal processing, and my graduation in electronics and communication from Bill Institute of Technology, Mesa. I worked as a research fellow at Queen's University, Belfast in Northern Ireland, and also research fellow at Imperial College London. So for my job and my studies have taken me at various places in UK and also in India. And academic affiliation is very important for me. Like I always, with my professional, I always had an academic affiliation. I do a lot of outreach programs for the students age from 7 years till 60 years. So for me, it has a very wide bandwidth. Every time I visit India or any place, I engage in the grassroots kind of development. And that's also a very important component as a business development for you all, is to understand that when we have a technology, we always tend to focus on the high end, but there are sectors like the children education and other kind of thing where we can have a lot of potential business opportunities. So keep this in mind, that when we talk about a technology which is emerging in this 21st century and whatever it is, the technology is becoming accessible to many, like in terms of, not only in terms of the internet or bandwidth, in terms of the technology, hardware and the software have become so easy for even 7 years, 8 years old kid to do some of the activities which I could do only in the engineering college or after I have joined the industry. So my effort has been to make this accessible technology to the grassroots level and to the children at a very prime age. And there is a huge business opportunity for you all, because I think everything I talk about technology, I have to link up with some kind of business element. Though I'm not very good at business kind of thing, I'm more into the technical side of it, but it's good to understand and know the opportunity exists. So as a business development, as a market, you have to know a technology a bit so that you can communicate and you can know where all it can be applied. And also you should be good in, selling it to the customer and developing the business. So other association, I'm a senior member of IEEE and a fellow IIT. I'm a visiting faculty and PhD examiner for various engineering colleges. My association with Nirma Institute of Technology, Dhirubhai Ambani Institute of Technology in Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad is because of my stay in Ahmedabad for more than 16 years. And I have been very active, and I have been recently the Microbit Champion 2022 as well. So I do a lot of local and national and international initiatives, and I will talk few of those initiatives where we have a local club. We have built up Cambridge Electronics and Robotics Academy and Innovation Foundation. We reach out to a lot of students in terms of educating them in terms of robotics, artificial intelligence, IoT, and many other things. So let's come back to the topic of your interest, like data science and AI. So I do put a lot of visual kind of thing instead of just talking. I put some visual kind of thing, which is easy for you all to grasp kind of thing. So when we talk about data science, it is an intersection of a lot of things. Like, you have the computer science, you have mathematics and statistics, you have domain expertise, which is very important. So for example, if I want to apply machine learning for surgery, or if I want to apply machine learning for medicine kind of thing, I should have someone, a domain expert. So what is important in terms of data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence that we are trying to address is to bring all the skill set together to find a solution. So remember, each of this component plays a very significant role, kind of thing. I have not put the business part of it, but in the backside, there is a business kind of thing where you all play a very important role. So I have not put that as a data science kind of thing, but remember, anything that has to come out successfully, there is a huge business industry which is involved in terms of marketing, in terms of bringing all this component together. So important for me. My presentation would be a bit more technical oriented than the business oriented, but you can capture a few of the things, keeping in mind that you all can apply this to the business development. There has been wide kind of confusion about the usage of word like data science, the machine learning, and artificial intelligence. And I think by this time that you have the conference, you should have understood that artificial intelligence is something a bit broad. Machine learning is a subset of it, and deep learning is a further subset of it. So the more you become technically expert, the more you try to go into a smaller box kind of thing. So as a business development, you should be proud that you're in the bigger circle, not in the smaller circle, where we tend to focus more on the smaller circle kind of thing, where we try to develop algorithms and make it more effective kind of thing. So the data science landscape as such, because I'm saying that I'm coming from the engineering background, but as a business development and as a HR or whatever it is, the field you are in, you can see the scope of people that you can draw in for a given application. The data science landscape has software engineering. You have to have a mathematicians, you have to have a programmer, you have to have a lot of soft skills, and then you can build upon all of this to give a solution. And I'm not going too much on the application side of it, because I think you know a lot of things where the machine learning and other things have been applied, because you have been using that. You have been using Alexa, you have been using a lot of other stuffs where the machine learning and other thing is built in. We may not be aware, but there are things which are already that you're using all this technology. So basically, the artificial intelligence is a broad terminology. It is broad terminology in a sense that anything which can perceive, do some kind of reasoning. Perceive is to collect some information, reasoning, learning, interact with the environment, problem solving, even exercising creativity. So those are some of the things which we broadly classify as a artificial intelligence. The machine learning is something, I have this slide very nicely put up, where we try to distinguish between what is a conventional programming kind of thing and what is machine learning kind of thing. So conventional programming, where we say that we give the instructions, like say, for example, if I say 2 plus 3, if I want to do an addition operation, I'll write a program which will do 2 plus 3 and give me 5 kind of thing. Whereas the machine learning is that you don't specify the operator as well. You don't tell what function it has to do. So say, for example, I give only the data and the answer. Say, for example, I give the machine 2, 3, and I say the answer is 5. I give 10, 20, and I give 30 as an answer. So if I give such 20, 30, 40, 50, such data set where I say the input and I give the right answer to the machine, it should automatically figure out that, oh, I have to just add these 2 numbers to get me the result. So basically, what is the difference between a traditional programming and the machine learning? That in traditional programming, we instruct every line and tell the computer what to do, whereas machine learning is using the same computer, right? But what we are trying to do is that we are not trying to tell what the machine, what instruction to apply. We are giving the input and giving the output results, and I'm trying to tell this machine learning through this own algorithm, to his own set of algorithms, to find what operator or operators should I use for this input data to give me an output. So basically, there is a feedback kind of thing, like it is mimicking like a human, the way as a child we learn things, right? We have been fed with information. We have been told this is a dog, this is a cat, and then we can then later on see a dog and say it is a dog kind of thing. There's a very important concepts about, so this slide also captures the same thing. In the normal programming, we have the inputs, we say the rules, and we get the output, right? So we have the rules, means all these operations that I have described before. Machine learning is that you give the input and the output, the outcomes, and it will find the rules. So that's the only difference. The hardest part of the machine learning is to get these rules. Once you get this rule, it is just the multiplication and addition. So we have two things. One is machine learning, which is taking place on the cloud, where you have all the tough computation to find the rules. But once the rule is found, you can put the machine learning on the edge, means on the small chip, which is just embedded in a very small device. It doesn't require huge computation power, because what it does is just multiply and add with the right coefficients. That's it. So machine learning, cloud, machine learning with the edge, on the edge, is very important. So most of the problem, the hardest part is to find these rules. Once the rules are found, it's just multiplication and addition. It's just sum of products, right? Okay, so the workflow is that the important thing for all this machine learning is the feature. So very important, if I ask you a question that how do you distinguish a cat and a dog? It's a very simple question, but it's very, very involved. Can you tell me, or is very difficult to interact with you now in a conference, but you please think, or you can put it in the chat, how do you say a cat, a dog, right? You know, if I say 2 years, it doesn't really give me any distinguishable feature. What is important for the machine learning are the features and distinguishable features. The features are important. If you overload the system with the features which are not significant, then it may not give you the right kind of performance in terms of its accuracy. So important for all of us is to understand that whether I am giving the right kind of input to my system to learn. If I say banana, the color, the shape of the banana, the color of the banana is very important for me to, as a person, to distinguish a banana from an apple. But if I suddenly give you a purple banana, right, it becomes a confusion to me. I don't know whether it is a real banana or is it a synthetic banana, right, kind of thing. So those things are very important. So feature-wise is very important. So we do there is a lot of workflow in the whole kind of thing. So the reason for putting me this workflow is that if you see the middle portion, the data analysis and model building is something that the mathematicians and the experts would like to get involved. But what is happening with the problem framing and its application? So these are the two areas which probably would require more business kind of thing and more expert, maybe domain experts, sometimes domain expert, to define the features. Say, for example, if I'm applying the machine learning for some medical application, I would like to know from the doctors which are the significant parameters, human parameter, pathological kind of parameters, or whatever it is, which are important for me to solve a problem, kind of thing. So those things are important, where I think a lot of things will try to follow. Then I just put one small slide just to talk about the deep learning, where we have a neural network, like it is mimicking the human brain kind of thing, in terms of the way we get we collect the response from multiple sensor. That's where you get, again, IoT, the sensor, the robotics coming into picture. We will try to, I have put 1 or 2 slides where I'm trying to merge all these things, but this is a very classic example where you are trying to build a network which will distinguish between a cat and a dog. And as I said before, that for us, important is to put important features into it. And if I go deep into the machine learning part of it, from artificial intelligence to machine learning, you know, there are a lot of other techniques, like you have a supervised learning, you have unsupervised learning, you have a reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is widely used in the robotic navigation kind of thing. So this is also very important for all of you to understand that there is a huge overlap of technology that can take place. The robotic navigation will go on the reinforcement learning, in a sense that you give award and punishment to the model for it to improve. So it is not that once the machine is learned, it is stuck. No, it is like human being. It can constantly evolve, right? It can constantly correct itself and make its own correction so that it improves upon its performance. So this is okay. So we have the supervised and supervised reinforcement learning. The main message here is that we really don't have to get stuck with certain class of data. We can say that we have as I said, that you have data and the outcomes. Sometimes you have only the data, you don't know the outcomes, right? In that case also you can use some kind of unsupervised learning kind of thing. Reinforcement learning is award and punishment kind of thing in a broad term. So the whole process of the development, technical development, is that you collect the raw data from the real world. The data is processed, the data is clean. You do a lot of visualization, report finding, machine learning algorithms, and all that thing. There is a lot of other aspects in the business development which probably you all should be much more aware than me. But it is good to have engineers, businessmen, and domain expert all coming together to solve this problem kind of thing. I've just put one slide for the application of machine learning because it does give you a feeling that what all places the machine learning can be applied, and where in future also it can be applied to much more wider kind of thing. I've not put all of it, but some of it, but this itself is a big domain kind of thing. And I again put the life cycle of it because in order when you are doing a business development kind of thing for this machine learning, remember that it has this 7 steps kind of thing, and each of these steps will take certain time, certain expertise. So if you want to develop a business, you have to consider all of this full life cycle, the time, the manpower, and the expertise that is required to develop a business kind of thing. You can have this distributed at various places, or you can have it at one place. Like the options are many. So here I put some facts about the machine learning, which may not be that important right now, but remember that for the machine learning, if you put garbage in, you'll get a garbage out. So important thing for machine learning and everything is to get the right amount of data. This is a diagram which probably you must have seen many times, where we try to put the machine learning, the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning as a subset of each of it. And they are, so if I say deep learning, it is a part of artificial intelligence. If I talk machine learning, it is a part of artificial intelligence, so forth and so on. So those things are very clear to you, all of you now. And also we have put the domain expertise. I've talked about it in terms of technology. Where do we sit? Where do we have all of this coming up? So what was our initiative kind of thing? As I said before, this machine learning and artificial intelligence and apply it in the industry. We do a lot of algorithm development and a lot of optimization problem and other kind of thing. But can we bring down that to the younger generation? So we did have a lot of courses for us. We started with Maths with Python, and for the preteens and teens, and learning with Python, machine learning with Python, again, was targeted. So we wanted to bring this machine learning to 11 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old. Can they do some of the things? So I started with this Python course, and you can see we have, I put the highlight of the course. I do the certification. You can see the kids 11, 12 years old producing this kind of output through Python is really amazing for me, because this is something that I probably would have done in engineering courses. And I know this kind of things is not available to a lot of students who are even in the engineering, because they didn't get an opportunity to interact. So important aspect now for all of you to understand that we are not limited with the information. There is a huge amount of information which is available through the internet. But what is important is a mentor who can guide you now through this, so that you can do a self-learning yourself. You can do the self-learning, but guided. So I take 1 hour session per week, and I guide the students, and they work for the whole week for me to do assignments, to find certain important things from the internet. But then what is important for all of us as a teacher and as a professors, if you're involved, is to inculcate this practice of self-learning, where you give directions and they do the research because the information is available, and they give you the output in terms of their projects kind of thing. So these are some of the projects which they have done. So there's no limit to what they can do with the mass and with the graphics. So we talk about the line, we talk about the tangent. When you talk about the line, a straight line, you're in fact talking about a linear regression kind of thing, which is one of the important things in machine learning, where we use the regression and prediction for prediction and other kind of thing. So what I'm trying to say is that very simple concepts which we have learned in the primary school or in the secondary school can be applied for machine learning. It is not that you have to be really very well versed with a lot of mathematical techniques to apply machine learning. This is done by 11, 12 years kids kind of thing. Can you imagine that this kind of patterns can be drawn and can be done? It is not only that drawing it, they are understanding what is going on, how to make a y as a subject of a y, how can y become a function of x, and how can you then do this. Okay, then quickly coming into the robotics kind of thing, which is again a very important part of it, is that we know what is a robot, and we have sent a robot to the Mars, and we have done a robot to the Chandrayaan. We have Chandrayaan, which was going to the space kind of thing. And what is it? It is an autonomous system, right? Not controlled by. Sometimes we do give command from the ground, semi-autonomous or autonomous kind of thing, which can sense its environment. So important is again sensing the environment, right? Temperature, humidity, pressure, and all the light, the sound, name it, the image, the camera is a light sensor, isn't it? So it can, so basically, it can sense its environment and it can act upon it, like, we can act upon it and achieve some goal. So we talk about, in the robotics, we talk about the sensor, we talk about the brain. I have this classical, okay, I'll bring that robotics later on, where we try to, how we try to propagate the robotics mechanism into the younger generation is very important. Like, it's not just teaching what is a sensor and how do we connect the nature, what we see around us, into an electronic or artificial system. I work with the radar system. So the radars are nothing but an example of a bat. A bat, how can it sees through his ears? The radar sees through the ear. The radar has copied exactly what the bat is doing in the night, right? So some of these things which have been connected and how do we copy the nature is an important aspect for robotics. Always remember that when you're talking of sensor, actuators, and the brain, it is basically copying the nature. So it is making an artificial nature probably for me. So I just give these slides. 2 slides are very important for me. Like, we have the human system. We know the basic sensory organs, right? We have 5 basic sensory organs. There are more than that, 5 basic. And I suddenly ask students, what does the eye sense? 90-95% of the students won't be able to say. Even adults will not be able to say what the eye sense. They will always say, oh, it helps me to see. But that is a function of that. It helps you to do something, right? But what does it sense? As soon as I say that it senses light, it clicks, right? Now I say, what does the ear sense? You can say it senses the sound. So these are the environmental, external to the human body, which have been picked up by the sensory organs and passed on to the brain to take certain action. Right? Can I then ask the next question to all of you, that what is an artificial eyes? Can you talk about an artificial eyes? Artificial ears, right? So the next slide, which shows about the sensor, the artificial eyes could be, it could be a light sensor, it could be a camera because it senses the light, the microphone which picks up the sound, but this connection is not very evident to all of us, right? So what we have done in terms of robotics is to bring this robotics into the grassroots level again, to 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old. And we have the robotics beginners course, intermediate, advanced. We have specialized workshop. The students participate in a lot of international competitions and they do a lot of science activities, global science festival. Why I'm saying all these things? Because there is a huge business opportunity which lies in this area as well, right? We have the information, we have the students, we have the platform, there's no connectivity. We have the experts, there is no way to connect all of this together and make a beautiful and wonderful society. We talk about the inequality in education. We shouldn't talk about inequality of education right now, because I can mentor hundreds and thousands of students at a particular time. Like I'm giving a talk now through if you have a broadband and if we have one screen with a projector, right? So I think as a business development, you all can do lots and lots of things now with the technology and with your intention and reach out to a lot of people. So we have this mental-led self-learning methodology, teaching methodology, which I already have talked about it. We give certificates. Even I've given certificate to Thomas Edison. I say to my students, like, so this all things are very important now for you to develop kind of thing. So I'll not touch much upon the robotics because you all know the Internet of Things is another important thing that has come up where everything has an address. So, this is what I say, that if you have address to every object, you can connect it to the Internet. So we have the Internet of the Things where you have the data ingestion, data transmission, data processing, data analytics, and data visualization. See, there are a lot of common things. And also you can bring the artificial intelligence into the IoT, right? Into the IoT, we will have, I think I have one slides kind of thing. But what we can do now is that if you have a device with an IP address, you have to just communicate it to the outside world. Like you have to put it in the cloud, right? Through the Internet. So we at this Cambridge as well, we try to see that can we have a very small device like a microbit or a Raspberry Pi or something small device, and can we then link this up to the cloud for people, for the students to visualize and see. So a huge opportunity exists here in this domain because the chips have become very cheap, very viable. You can within 500 rupees you can, or within 1,000 rupees you can have the whole platform built, less than that in fact, right? And make it as an educational tool for the students as well. But I'm just focusing on some of the small sector where I'm talking of all this in the education aspect. But remember, we work in industry, we apply this IoT, and we have industrial IoT, right? We have this industrial IoT where you have a huge amount of information being transmitted. Now, the main thing is that you have so many sensors, you have so many things. If you start pumping everything to the cloud, it will get saturated. So basically, we want, so this is another important slide that I have taken. We can have the Bluetooth connection, we can have a gateway on the computer, we can go to the cloud, and we can do the analysis. Everything can be done at home, and very cheap with all the students having no expertise. Important is whether they can understand the concept, whether they can apply it and use it for future use, right? So I put some of the slides as an initiative kind of thing. But then Internet of robotic things, where we say Internet of robotic things, where we have the robots when connected to IoT device. You have artificial intelligence connected to IoT. You have robot connected to IoT. So remember, so the conference and the theme of your conference is so important that everything is coming together now. So we have artificial intelligence with IoT, which they call AIoT, right? So instead of like, sensor, if it collects all the information and send it to the cloud, it becomes very, you can overload it, right? So what you can do at the sensor end, can you make some intelligence on the edge that you can transmit? You have to transmit only if certain parameter exceeds certain value, or you take some intelligent decision that these 4 sensor values with machine learning will trigger an action for it to be transferred. So what you're doing is that you're restricting the bandwidth. You don't have so much of bandwidth to transmit all the data. So you can work with a low bandwidth system just because you have intelligence on the node. So you collect the data, take some intelligence on the node, because as I said, the machine learning can be applied very easily on the node, send limited amount of data, intelligent data to the cloud when it is required. So you have now combination of artificial intelligence and the robots and IoT coming together. So this is where I think I should end now, because if I keep talking, there will be, say I put 66 slide, then it will be more. I personally, I would have loved to interact with you all for a much longer duration, because all of this topic is a course on its own kind of thing. My privilege of talking to you and being able to express that we technical people, if we take initiative and passionate, we can also take part in education. We can take part in the business development, and we can make difference in the life of the people, like not necessarily adults, also the children. So with this, I think I will thank once again all of you to listen to me. Though this talk was not very technically pitched, I could have done that, but I have not done it just because I felt that the audience would more appreciate this one. I may be wrong. So if I have not satisfied some of you, we will interact later on as well. Thank you so much, all of you, for this opportunity. And thanks to Sobik as well for organizing this and inviting me to be a part of it. And I'm very privileged and honored to be with you all. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sujit, for sharing your valuable time and knowledge with us. Ladies and gentlemen, let us have a huge round of applause for Dr. Sujit. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have seen from yesterday, there is a lot of deliberation in the field of artificial intelligence, data sciences, a lot of exchange of thoughts, ideas, a lot of innovations in the mind of what you call a creation of new knowledge, information, knowledge, skills, as yesterday we have discussed. A journey for insight, foresight, and wisdom. And that is the actual reason behind we organize this international conference. And with the overwhelming response from all of the generations, we can see generation next is also there, sitting in much numbers. So let us have a huge round of applause for you people. Actually, for you people, we have organized this. We are also learning. We are also learning at this age the artificial intelligence and data sciences. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a review of the conference, what has happened in these 2 days. So may I call upon convener of the conference, Dr. D.V.V.P.F ma'am, to give review of the conference.
Good afternoon all. Now I am going to present the international conference report, and the statistics are like this. I would like to share here that the conference has received huge response in the form of more than 350 registrations, 180 papers, and similar number of paper presentation for the 2 days. For the inauguration function, we had Chief Guest Mr. Sunil Kedak Sir, MD, Kedak Autocom and Aurangabad. The subject matters, Mr. Alessandro from Netherlands and Mr. Ian from United Kingdom. Yesterday, we had a plenary session, one panel discussion, followed by the technical session in parallel mode. Today, we had a plenary session, expert Professor Kiran Kumar Jore, followed by parallel technical session, online technical session, by international participation and outside the Maharashtra participants, and offline technical sessions are there. So these are the overall international conference reports. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a twist in the session. Actually, due to time constraints, Sujit sir's biodata were not read. But ma'am says it must be read. उनका टाइम था, अपने को वो टाइम स्लॉट, इसलिए हमने उनका सेशन कंटिन्यू किया था. उनका भी दूसरा काम था. तो मैडम इज इंसिस्टिंग कि उनका बताना चाहिए क्या है. उन्होंने कुछ बताया स्नैप सुन के. तो मैम would like to explain you in detail what Sujit is supposed to be and what Sujit is actually. Please, ma'am, I request Mr. Ma'am to read biodata.
Thank you so much. Actually, as sir has said, we have given the specific time slot, and in that time slot, our guest has joined with us. So we were not able to introduce him before. So here I am taking opportunity to introduce our chief guest of today's valedictory function, Dr. Sujit Bhattacharya. Actually, he has given us very good insight about IoT and other things. You all have seen that. So who is that person actually? How knowledgeable he is, that you know. I just wanted to give you idea that who is actually Dr. Sujit Bhattacharya. Dr. Sujit Bhattacharya is one of the epitome of engineering research and has hands-on experience of more than 32 years in specialization in signal processing, at leading space research organization and radar manufacturing companies. He was principal designer for the payloads of Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, remote sensing and communication, satellites including RISAT, INSAT, GSAT, OceanSat, and ISAT solar orbit. He completed his B.Tech from Birla Institute of Technology, Mesa in 1989. He completed his ME from Indian Institute of Science, IISc in 2001. He completed his PhD from the University of Edinburgh, Scotland in signal processing in the year 2009. Later, he completed his postdoctoral fellowship program from Queen's University, Belfast, that is from UK. He has 18 plus publications at international level, including many book chapters. He is member of Board of Trustees, STEM Ambassador at UK. He is an active STEM Ambassador and EdTech specialist, educator, entrepreneur, and open source advocate with the mission to inspire the next generation of innovators. Founder and mentor of Cambridge Electronics and Robotics Club, that is CERC, Cambridge Electronics and Robotics Academy, that is CERA, and Cambridge Innovation Foundation, that is CIF. Passionate about students' learning through creativity and invention, enthusiastic academician, intensively involved in mentoring students through several online courses, including electronics, robotics, machine learning, signal processing, Python, and FPGA. So these are some details I just wanted to share with you about the chief guest who has given us his specialized lecture to us. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, after so much of deliberation and exchange of thoughts, now it's time to give fruits of what your efforts you had done from last 2 days, paper presentations you have done, your even research paper, you have done a lot of hectic work. Now it's time to appreciate your efforts with the help of the decision given by our jury members. We will be able to announce the awards for best research paper, both in offline and online mode. So I'll announce first second prize, that too in a online category. I hope there are people no online mode. Yeah. So in online category, second prize for best paper presentation goes to Mr. Patil Rajendra Kumar. Mr. Patil, are you there? Patil Rajendra Kumar.
Sir, he is in the office at the moment.
Oh, no, not an issue. Please convey message, sir. Mr. Patil Rajendra Kumar Ashok has written paper, the next best actions, the new revolution of marketing. Now, second prize in offline category goes to Dr. S.B. Raut and team. Minimize risk in agriculture by application of AI. I request Honorable Director Dr. Sanjay Dharmadikari sir to kindly give them awards, cash prize, and certificate of appreciation. Let us have a huge round of applause. Congratulations, sir and ma'am. Congratulations to winners. Now it's time to announce first prize for the best paper presentation. Any guesses? Offline might be guesses, online you might have not seen. I'll announce first online category first prize. The first prize in online category, international and online section, goes to, are you listening online guys? Mr. Saurik Jana. congratulations, Mr. Savik. Savik,
Thank you, sir.
Are you there? Yes, congratulations. So please on your video, if you could speak for 2 minutes, sir.
Sir, Abhari, and thank you to Dr. V.K. Patil Foundation, IBMRD College, Sanjay sir, all faculty members and jury members, and to all my fellow researchers. Thank you very much for all your support. Thank you very, very much.
Congratulations, Savik ji. You have written a paper in robotics process automation, actually. It is very nice. Now, heartbeats thumping, guesses for offline, best research paper, international conference, advances in artificial intelligence, data sciences. Any guesses? Use your intelligence, my dear students. The best research paper, first prize, offline category goes to Dr. Sriram D. Rao. Heartiest congratulations to the winners. The winners will be communicated by our conference team for the procedure of their award amount and the residues, whatever. Right? Now it's time to have a feedback about the conference.
One change we are doing here only we are giving certificates to the students, those who have presented their papers and participated. For that, first I would like to call Mr. Kiran Kumar Jure to present the certificates. Abhijita Jagtap. Abhijita Jagtap, please come here to take your certificate. Thank you, sir. I would like to call Manoj Kumar Langote, sir, to present the next certificate. Now, third category certificates we are giving to Mr. Kiran Kumar Jure and team. So his student has also participated to us. So I call Nimarkar madam to please give away these certificates. Everyone please wait. Now, the type of students that are with us, we are having students from Kopargaon who have joined us over here. So I again like to call Nimarkar madam to give away all the certificates of the students. So that will be given to the noticer and you can collect from him. Okay, please, if you want, please student come forward.
चला समोर पहा. समोर पहा सगळ्यांनी प्लीज.
Now it's time for feedback. So I just want every one of us want that if anyone want to give us feedback about the conference, those who have attended today, any faculty, any student, kindly come forward.
Good afternoon, all of you. Myself, Shinde, Dr. Ya Shinde from Pundeshwar Kadalari Holkar, Solapur University, Solapur. As far as the international conference is there, most of the faculty members know from last 3 years, excluding the lockdown period, we have attended this international conference. I got very good experience from all the team members which are executing this such a wonderful and success. I am saying it is a successful international conference because from last 2 days I am attending number of sessions. As far as panel discussion is there, plenary sessions are there. All these are very nicely executed by each and every team member, and mostly Panjab madam, Tisar madam, Pardeshi sir have supported us very nicely. As far as hospitality is there, it was very good. One more thing I want to share with you. From last 2 days, I saw a very excitement response from all the students, and which was very remarkably I want to express here, because without student, in some sessions some students have presented their paper and nicely they presented the papers. So I want to clap for all the students. This conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Anyone, please come forward. Yes, sir. Please.
Good afternoon, one and all. Actually, the experience was very nice. Actually, I'm associated with this IBMRD since last many years, so I know how the arrangements are done here and everything about that.
That's why I thought that my students should know these things. So I requested to students to participate in this international conference, and the madam and all the organizing committee also allowed for us to participate. That's why it's my great thanks to the institute on behalf of this Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Kopargaon and NCA College parents. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. From students, anyone? Again from faculty? Again, anyone from faculty want to share, say any feedback?
सर्वांना शुभ दुपार. मी मराठीतच बोलणार आहे, ऍग्रिकल्चरचा माणूस असल्यामुळे. आपल्याच भावाचे काय गुण गायचे असं म्हणायला हरकत नाही. आमचा मोठा भाऊ IBMRD ऍग्रिकल्चर जे की सर यायच्या आधी आम्ही यांच्याच बरोबर शेअर केली होती बिल्डिंग. अतिशय उत्कृष्ट असं नियोजन जर कोणाचं म्हटलं तर विखे पाटील फाउंडेशन मध्ये पहिलं नाव येतं ते IBMRDचं. कॅप्टन धर्माधिकारी सर यांच्या तर माझं एक साम्य आहे. आम्ही दोघं प्रवरा पब्लिक स्कूलचे विद्यार्थी आहोत. म्हणजे वी आर असोसिएटेड विथ प्रवरा फॅमिली सिन्स आवर चाइल्डहुड. तरी मी या टीमचं या ठिकाणी निश्चित अभिनंदन करेन. आणि येणाऱ्या काळामध्ये सर आपल्याला एक रिक्वेस्ट आहे, आपण एक मोठा सेमिनार बांधा, कारण विद्यार्थ्यांची संख्या दरवर्षी वाढत चाललेली आहे. तरी खूप अभिनंदन आपल्या सर्व टीमचं. आणि पुन्हा एकदा पुढच्या वर्षाची आम्ही वाट पाहत आहोत सर. एक चांगला बर्निंग आणि इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक घेऊन आपण पुन्हा एकदा आपण पुढच्या काळामध्ये भेटू. सर्वांना धन्यवाद. थँक्यू.
Thank you, sir. Again, anyone from students?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ms. Valedictory, and I am from Mahila Mahavidyalaya College, Kopargaon. So first of all, I am from FYBCA, and it's first year. So like everything was new, and it was first time attending this conference. So I was scared also for presenting that how I will do it. But due to sir's support and the college gave us opportunity, so I thank you for that. And the main thing is that I've never attended a session where an expert like Mr. Kumar sir, then Anirudh sir. So it was very helpful and knowledgeable. And I also learned many new things from this session. And I was not aware about the depth of this AI technology. So it helped me to get interest in that field. So I thank you from behalf of our college.
So much. Again, may I appeal any students? Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Abhishek and I'm from the Advanced Commerce and Science College of Toronto. I want to thank the colleges and IBMRD for organizing this international conference for us. And we have learned a lot from this conference, and we can get more knowledge from this conference. The advanced technologies like AI and data science and machine learning. We are not aware of this. We have the partial knowledge about these technologies, but we don't know about the details and what are the practical knowledges and technical things about this concept. So I want to thank for giving us this opportunity and presenting and giving the opportunity for presenting our papers. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all the feedbacks. Let me come to the end of the session. I request conference convener Dr. D.V.V.P.F to go away for vote of thanks. Thank you, ma'am. Again,
Good afternoon, everyone present over here. It is my great pleasure to present vote of thanks for the International Conference on Recent Trends in Artificial Intelligence and Data Science organized by Dr. V.P.F Foundation's Institute of Business Management and Rural Development, Valedictory, Ahmednagar. This valedictory session of the International Conference is privileged by our chief guest, Dr. Sujit Bhattacharya, Principal Consultant, Aware TTT Group, UK. I would like to thank Dr. Sujit Bhattacharya, sir, who joined us online here, spare his valuable time and express his expert views. I would like to thank our esteemed honorable member, Shri Radhakrishna Vicky Patil, sir, Cabinet Minister, Government of Maharashtra, and Chairman as well as Trustee for the Dr. V.P.F Foundation, and Honorable Dr. Sujay V.K. Patil, sir, Member of Parliament, Ahmednagar, Lok Sabha constituency. Special thanks to our dignitaries of the esteemed foundation for their great support. I would like to thankful our Honorable Director, Dr. Sanjay Dharmadhikari, sir, for his continuous support and guidance for the execution of the conference. I am also thankful all the participants for the showing their interest in our conference. Last but not the least, my backbone, the team IBMRD and students for the great support. Here we are at the end of international conference. I conclude it's completed, and thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. All the participants are requested to submit their feedback form at the registration desk, and if anyone misses, please collect their certificate from the registration desk. Thank you.